Hi, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Cortez. I call myself as your business doctor, and today sa ating lesson in business process management, we're going to talk about firstly about the project, the definition, the description of the course, objectives of program, business management. And so once again, welcome to my class. And this is the title, our first topic for this asynchronous week, project-based management. And that is my full name. I'm Dr. Philosophy, Doctor of Business. Those are my credentials. And to start, I'm going to present to you the description ng ating course or subject. If I may be allowed to read the definition, this course provides an in-depth exploration of business process. So, you're not only trained as an employee or trained as an employer. So, in your business later on, whether that is manufacturing, retail, or service-based, meron kayong gagawing mga process or flow ng inyong mga negosyo. And it is important sa isang business, yung good practice of processing. Kasi pag masyadong gastos, di masyadong efficient, the net income of your business will suffer, and at the same time, the operation will be affected. The customer relation management will be affected pag hindi masyadong maganda yung process, yung flow ng inyong mga business. And this course will also focus on its role in achieving organizational goals to improve efficiency. Dati bara-bara lang tayo mag-process, but now it is important. Meron tayong mga tinatawag na mga 5S in business, the lean management, the lean inventory, the Six Sigma in business. Yung mga tools na ginagamit natin para maging efficient. And it is also important that in a business, ito lagi akong tinuturo, no? I'm always advocating this one. In all our business, creating a products, creating a service, providing service, whether it is you're doing marketing, finance, pricing, you should always inject innovation sa lahat ng ginagawa natin. The importance of innovation, pag meron kang bagong ginagawa sa iyong business, example, it is in pricing, new method of pricing, new method of operation, new method of distribution, new method of providing service, mga streamlined flow ng mga process ng negosyo. Kahit may small details like inventory, answering calls sa loob ng isang business, you should always inject innovation. Kasi mas maganda yung meron kang bago kaysa you are just the same with the other player in the industry. O ikaw pareho lang nila, wala kang bago. So, pag ako yung customer, doon na ako bibili sa dati. Diba? Pero pag mayroon kang bago, mga Pilipino, we are very fond of patronizing a business na makabago. O yun tayo sa kabilang business, may bago sila doon. Diba yun ating word of mouth? Mabukang bibig natin, diba? Pag may bago. Alright, in this course, students, you guys, you will learn how to identify, analyze, model, and improve business process. Yan. So, we should always improve. May tinatawag tayo sa business na continuous improvement. Tuloy-tuloy yung pag-improve natin sa ating mga negosyo. 5 years ago, what you were doing 5 years ago may not be relevant anymore today as you are continuously improving. And how do you improve? How do you innovate? Of course, you should identify mga lapses. Analyze the gaps sa ating mga business. Pag nakita mo yung mga gaps or mga missing, what is missing, you can now create a model. Pag may model ka na, you can implement that one. Ayan. So those are the techniques and tools na ginagamit natin. Whether it is your own innovation or based on the standard. Siyempre, we are copying what is being done by the competitors, no? Ginagaya natin sila para hindi tayo mapag-iwanan. If your competitors are doing AI marketing, so ganoon din ginagawa natin. Mga industry standard techniques and tools. And lastly, this course will also examine the strategic importance of BPM. So from now on, guys, when we say BPM, we are talking about business process management. Yan. So we should know the importance of BPM in today's competitive and technology. Huwag tayong magpaiwan sa mga magpaiwan sa mga kalaban natin. Example, if you are in a restaurant and some restaurants are doing robotics, they are now using robots to bring the food to the customers, to get orders from the customers. Pag wala ka niyan, if you are investing on technology, so mapag-iwanan ka. Right? And what is the importance? What is good about technology? Consistent, standard yung ginagawa ng mga robots. Kumbaga walang kapag-uura ng mga robots, diba? Mga effect ng technology. Kesa, that is the advantage of technology sa mga human. Standard ng technology, hindi na papagod ang technology. So, yung task kanina umaga ay katulad din sa task na pwedeng gawin ng isang technology at 5 p.m. Right? So, pare-pareho. Yan. That is the background about the subject. Yan ang ating pag-uusapan. That is kumbaga, in a capsule, that is what we are talking about when we say business process management or BPM. And of course, I've been to different companies. I've been working with different companies na. So I could see yung mga ginagawa ng mga businesses in their operations maybe 25 years ago or current mga situation. Okay, and in our subject, we have the outcome, we have the objectives. I think at the end of the course, the students, you guys should be able to do the following. Ito yung target natin, na pagkatapos ng isang SEM. Hopefully, we should now understand the key concept, principles, and importance of BPM in organizational success. Kasi later on, you will be the head of your own department, your own company, or you'll own your own company, business. Kasi mga IT, mga IS, IT people like you guys, na sa nasa service-based, di ba? You are providing service, you are providing consultancy. Maybe the first few years, you will be employed, you will be working in an organization, but later on, pag ikaw ay sanay na, if you are now capable, so you can go in your own, magsasariling company ka na, and you will have your clients. So you should know the BPM. Second objective natin or outcome, target, identify and document key business processes in various organizational settings. So you will have a client later on, and this client of you will come from different industry, will come from retail, will come from manufacturing, will come from service. And they have different setups. Alright? So you should understand and identify yung mga pwedeng gawin or what are the goings on in different organizations. Iba-iba kasi yan eh. Example, sa retail, meron silang supply chain management. Sa service, wala namang ganon. Sa mga manufacturing, they have production. Sa retail, wala namang ganon. So, iba yung setup. Okay, and you should utilize modeling techniques and tools to analyze and visualize process. So, maganda na. Pag ikaw ay nag-example sa research, meron tayong palaging ginagamit ng mga model. Ang model kasi important or useful kaysa narrative. Sabi natin kanina, if you want to improve, you should analyze first the techniques na nangyayari ngayon, then you should create a model. Ang model kasi madaling i-present, di ba? You can visualize models in one page kaysa narrative. And the next one, we should apply the strategies for process improvement, redesign, and innovation. Ang isang technique, ang isang process, ang isang design, ano yan, forever changing mga yan. Continuous ang natin eh. In isang organization, it might be very useful or tuwang-tuwa kasi isang process na ginagamit ngayon. But in 5 years' time, hindi na masyadong relevant. Because that is now capable of being changed because of technology, trends, internet. So, constant ang ating innovation. And we can't avoid innovation. Innovations may be disruptive, but that is the realization. Next objective natin, explore the role of technology and automation in modern BPM practices. So, ngayon, we are in 20 years ago. Just an example, no? 20 years ago, or 25 years ago, or 27 years ago, or 30. I started working in 1993 na. And that is 31 years ago. 1993, 2003. 2003, ginagamit namin technology, typewriter. Ginagamit namin dati in communication, fax machine. Ngayon, hindi na ganun, di ba? Email na ginagamit natin instead of fax machine. Typewriter ginagamit natin. We are now using MS Word in creating documents. Dati nga, PowerPoint ginagamit natin, di ba? But now, you're using Canva. So, you should be always aware or always on your tools when it comes to monitoring yung mga uso or trendy na mga technology na ginagamit sa business. And lastly, ang BPM, meron naman talagang lahat naman ng bagay merong challenges or merong drawback, disadvantage. So we should know how to address the challenges and risks associated with implementing BPM initiative. Ang makabagong process is hindi naman talaga ina-accept ng lahat. Kasi naturally, if one person has been using a technology for the last 10 years, tapos biglang may bago, di ba? Hindi naman talaga nila i-accept agad yung bago. Kasi those are change and sometimes people, they don't want change. We should know that is a challenge for you guys now. How are you going to implement APM changes or initiative? And we're going to talk about those things now. So, ating objectives sa ating subject. And let's go to the next slide. Of course, sabi ko kanina, later on, you will be working in one company. But much later on, ang maganda, meron ka ng sariling negosyo. Or you will have your own business. Meron ka ng sariling, they call this one, IT consultancy company. IS consultancy company. You will have no clients. Papagawa sa'yo, di ba, ng sample ng system, programs, and you have your client. We don't call them customers, we call them client, di ba? Kasi nga, you are providing service. And pag mayroon kang magpapagawa sa'yo, we call that your project, di ba? Project-based. May mga kliyente ka magpapagawa ng isang system, example, to be done for 1 month, 5 months, or 1 year, mga matagalang mga system. Yung project natin, tawag natin doon, i-project na yung gagawin, gano'n, no? It means we're going to implement a system in one company. Example is AP, System, Oracle. So, those are project. And you are being paid per project, diba? Your company will earn, your own company will earn per project. Now, what is a project? A project daw is temporary endeavor undertaken to accomplish a unique product. In your case, guys, we are talking about product. We are talking about service. Kasi system ang inyong pinoprovide. You are rendering service. Yan. So, siyempre, that is only 1 month or 5 months. Or pag matagal, 2 years, no? So, that is temporary. Pag natapos mo na yan, siyempre, you still monitor the project. Yan. Before you turn over, di ba? And after that, meron kang tinatawag na what you call that one? The honeymoon period. Yung time na tinetesting mo yung system. Hindi mo pwede siyang iwanan, di ba? Example, lima kayo in one project. Pagkatapos na siya, yung isa maiwan in your client's office to monitor yung system. Yan. Unique. Sabi ko, always have innovation. At bawat client, siyempre, iba-ibang pinapagawa. Kaya nga unique, di ba? Bihira yung pare-pareho yung di ba? Bihira yung system na pare-pareho. May malaki kasing company, may maliit na company, you start with the SMEs, no? You start with the small, medium enterprises or micro enterprises, right? Project na ginagawa. Now, what are the attributes of your project? Siyempre, unique. Bihira yung kaninang project na halos magkapareho. So, iba-iba yung contract price. Although I don't know how much yung contract price per project sa inyong mga client. Siguro it can run, may mga simpleng website lang naman na pinapagawa. But I don't know how much, 30,000, 50 per website papagawa, di ba? So, mabilis lang siya. May companies naman talagang system ang pinapagawa. Implementation of a system. And that is temporary. Hindi naman yan pangmatagalang 10-year contract, di ba? Medyo matagal. Medyo matagal, 5 years. Although kahit 5 years yan, that is still temporary. Matatapos pa rin yan. Unless may mga companies na they will employ your company as retainer. Yung bang they don't have an IT department. Pinaparetain lang sa inyo na monthly i-visit, di ba? Yun medyo long term siya. Kasi retainer maintenance, no, ang inyong ginagawa. And you are being paid monthly. You will bill them monthly. Medyo matagal siya, no? Pero pag sa government, I know, bawat taon, you will sign contract. Renewal ng contract lang. Pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya. Okay, your project is, it requires resources. Often from various areas. Pag sila yung various areas, from different department of your company. Example, meron kang malaking company mo and iba-ibang tao ang pinapadala mo doon. And we have taken already na pag sinabi natin mga resources, ito yung 5 M's. The manpower, the money, materials, machine, and the methods. Ulitin natin, manpower, material, machine, money, methods. Yun ang pinoprovide mo sa client. Of course, kailangan agad ng pera, transportation, di ba? Sweldo ng mga empleyado mo. Hindi naman mga client magsisweldo, di ba, sa empleyado. Ikaw pa rin magsisweldo sa kanila. Pinapadala doon, di ba? And of course, machine, example, yung vehicle na ginagamit. Vehicle ng company. Laptops na ginagamit. Diba? Power, machine, materials, mga example, bond paper lang, that is part of materials. And what's the method? Yung skills ng mga tao. Or yung protocol, yung operation, yung SOP na ginagawa ng iyong company. If you are going to provide service. And of course, pag sinabi na ng project, meron kang client or yan, tinatag nating sponsor or customer. But we call them, in your case, we call them the client. Kasi service ang iyong pinag-provide. Lastly, project, pinakahuli siya pero hindi naman sa isang negosyo kasi, sa isang business process, guys. Dapat tayo conservative. May tinatawag na conservatism. Conservatism in business. Pag sinabing conservatism, do not always expect profit. Instead, you should always anticipate losses. Anticipate the worst. Kasi pwedeng may mangyari, hindi naman talaga work yung system or talaga nag-back out yung client nyo. Or na may contract price ka na, 200,000 pesos. Nagpirmahan ng kontrata. But, yung pala, na underestimate mo ang gastos. So, dyan palang lugi ka na, di ba? Lugi ka na. Hindi na pwedeng baguhin yung kontrata. Kasi signed yung contract. 200,000 ang iyong contract price. Yung pala, ang iyong gastos, total gastos, hindi mo na-anticipate. Aabot pala ng 190,000. Ang tubo mo, 10,000 na lang. Alright, so next, we move to the next one. Continuation, what is your project management in you guys? Isang project, isang business, meron tayong functions na ginagawa ng isang manager sa isang business process. Of course, the manager will plan, organize, that should be letter J. The manager should lead, the manager should report, should control, and complete a project through people. No? So, madaling tandaan, planning, organizing. I don't know if you have taken this in some of your subjects. But the functions in business ng isang manager, na tulad nyo, are basically planning. Nagpa-plan ka, that is doing something ahead of time. No? You're planning, so just be aware na pag sinabi natin planning, don't just settle in plan A. Dapat meron kang plan B, in plan C, in plan D, and you have the rest of the alphabet hanggang plan letter Z. Pag meron kang plano, you are now organizing. Pag sinabi organizing, di ba? You are gathering all components. Iniipon mga components, all related components na gagamitin sa isang project. Like, gathering all the materials, gathering all the people, gathering all the machines, methods. At kung merong funds, funds na gagamitin. Yan. Nais mo. You allocate the resources. And it is important sa isang project, leading. Pag sinabing leading, you are motivating. Kapag sinabing leading, you make it sure that all people in one organization are working towards a common goal. At ikaw na una dyan, nasa unahan ka. You are the one who is leading, you are the one who is supervising, motivating your employees, your subordinates, guiding them towards the goal of your project or your company. And also important, guys, na you should control. Although you are leading your people, part mo pa rin ng iyong functions to control them, to control the resources, to control the materials, machine. Kasi baka hindi na sila masyado nakatarget sa goal ng company, ng project. Yung mga tao minsan, may mga employees minsan na naliligaw na or offline na kanilang ginagawa. Yun ang target. Important na once in a while you control them periodically. Pag sinabi periodically, hindi yan annual Control quarterly. Pero kung kaya, monthly. Huwag na isang taon, masyadong matagal na isang taon controlling or evaluating them. Isang taon, matagal yan. Important din yung reporting. You should report kanino sa higher ups. O reporting sa mga subordinates. Transparency. Sabihin, pag mayroong maganda nangyari or pangit na nangyari or milestone sa inyong project, you report, you show to them para nila yung progress. Okay, then next, advantages of using formal project management. So, why it is important sa inyong project na ginagawa sa inyong client? Di ba pwedeng wala ng kwan? Hindi ba pwedeng hindi na-manage ang project? Di ba pwedeng hayaan na lang? Ang minamahal sa atin dito, guys, hindi lang tao but the project itself. Pero marami siyang kasama. The components, the resources. So, here are the advantages of using formal project management. At kailangan natin, Firstly, pag meron kang ginagawa, if you are going to, why we are taking up this subject? Firstly, better control of financial, physical, and human resources. Sabi natin kanina, part ng isang head, isang project ng isang client, is controlling the resources, gathering, organizing the resources of your company. So pag walang manager or wala kang formal project management na gagawin, yung pera hindi masyadong efficient ang paggagamit niyan kung saan napupunta. So maganda meron kang auditor sa yung mga financing, may taga-audit, may taga-check, at yung audit dapat medyo masungit or medyo the auditor should be not lenient. Dapat hard-nosed yung hard-nosed yung auditor, yung bang masungit, masigpit sa pera para yung pera will be used efficiently. Ilistahan siya, di ba? Hindi pwedeng basta-basta paglabas ng pera. Sorry. Dapat nasa budget or dapat may hearing. Hindi naman hearing. Dapat may justification yung paglabas ng pera. Outflow yan di ba? Sa isang financing, mas maganda yung cash inflow kaysa palabas ng pera. Although it is also important to control the cash inflow, yung perang papasok. Minomonitor mo rin yan, right? Kung kanino galing, kung magkano, saang project nang galing yan, anong taon, anong man kinuha. Kasi guys sa business, pag magre-report kayo, hindi naman lahat ng natanggap na pera i-report mo ng November or December. Siyempre, sa business may tinatawag tayong proper matching of revenue. Ibig sabihin, kung anong month natanggap yung, kung anong month na-render yung service, doon may record yung revenue. Example, meron kang service na ginawa noong December. May tinanggap kang pera. Yung perang yan, benta yan noong December. Hindi yung benta na January. Kaya nga, cash inflow is also important. Right? The physical resources din. Right? Ito yung mga gamit natin, mga materials, machine, na ginagamit. Diba? So, why it is important? Kasi yung mga yan, guys, no? Yung mga laptop, equipment na ginagamit sa business, yan ay ini-expense din natin. May gastos tayo para dyan. Kapag ikaw may ginawang service, hindi lang yung sweldo ng tao yung gastos mo dyan. Hindi pamasahe, kundi yung laptop na ginamit. Ini-expense natin yung laptop. Kala natin, walang gastos yung laptop mo, dinidepreciate natin yung laptop. It's also important, the human resources. Yan, pag-allocate. Why important pag-allocate ng human resources? Kasi siyempre, may mga time na dapat balance, no? Balance yung pag-assign. Kasi pag isang tao, hindi mo ina-assign sa project, tapos wala siyang kinikita doon. Ang ina-assign mo yung kaibigan mo lang. Palakasan system. It will create grievances. So, dapat alam mo kung sino ang para saan. Who's the best fit for the job, hindi lang kaibigan mo. So that is the first advantage of using formal project management. The next one, pag may formal project management tayo ginagamit sa business, improve customer relations. Oh, bakit? Kasi yung manager sa pag-usap, there should be somebody talking to the client. May representative, may intermediary, may tawag natin dito, may proxy, may representative yung company as a sign of goodwill. Right? Ito yung gumagawa ng ang isang manager, yan ang taga-troubleshoot, brings goodwill, taga-dala ng taga-dala ng mga token of appreciation sa mga client. Siya na kapag-usap So there should be somebody. And what is the purpose of that one? Improve customer relation. Kung nag-PR, yung taga-public relation, isang company, important yan kasi they are our customers, client. Yan talagang taga-sagot. Pag may request, may isang focal person. Okay, so the next one, shorter development times. Ito maganda, no? Yung manager, siya rin yung bantay. Pag wala kasing bantay, di ba? Pag wala kasing bantay, yung mga employee mo sa isang client, bara-bara, petics. Tagal ng trabaho, di ba? Isa gusto nga nila yung nandun lang sila sa client kasi parang petics yung trabaho. Pero pag mayroong bantay, there is somebody monitoring them, so napapabilis yung kanilang mga work, di ba? Yung 1 week, you can do that pala 4 days lang. Right? Alright. So, hindi naman natin nilalagay ang isang manager just to monitor para bantayan yung mga employees mo doon sa client. Pwede pag meron kasi yung project manager, symbolic yan Pero hindi siya manita at nakikita ng mga employees mo na there is a figurehead, a manager. Kaya hindi mag-utos yan eh. Basta you're visible. Iba yung ginagawa eh. Kesa walang tao. Right? And the manager, because of project management, because of audit, sabi natin kanina, part ng project management, yung financial, there should be an auditor. And siyempre, the job of the auditor is to lower the cost of the project. If they can avoid overtime, so the salary will decrease. The salary expense will decrease over time. Supplies, materials sa ginagamit will decrease. May taga-check, may taga-monitor, may taga-sita. So the cost of your project will be lowered. So pag mababa ang cost, mababa expenses, yung income from that project ay mas mataas. Sabi natin kanina eh. Okay, ang contract price 1 million, ang cost matataas. Ang cost 900 million. So magkanong tubo? 100,000 lang. Kasi walang cost control. So the next advantage of project management, higher quality of work provided and increased reliability. Right? Pag quality and you're reliable, your client will rely on you na next time kayo pa rin kukunin. Kasi quality. Ba't naging quality? Improve customer relations, shorter development, lower cost, quality of work, productive, so higher quality ang mangyayari, right? And pag higher quality, pag ako yung client nyo and you're providing me higher quality task, next time kayo pa rin eh. So reliable ka na. And hindi masyadong madali, no, na mag-rely ang mga client. So it will take time na maging reliable. Alright, pag shorter development times, one of the effect of that is lower cost eh. Short development times, mas makunti ang mga sweldo. Pag malit ang salary expense, it will contribute to lower total cost. Pag ang cost or expenses ay maliit, what will happen naturally? The profit, yung tubo dun sa project ay mas mataas. Right? So, instead of 10% ang profit, tumaas naging 20% because of efficient operation ng company na papababa yung cost. And advantage sa may management na ganito is the improved productivity ng workers. Nanggaling to dun sa sa better control of human resources. Pag wala kasing bantay, diba? Example, you have a client, you have a project. Ang usapan 1 million and it will run for like 1 month. Okay? Pag lumampas ang 1 month, it means additional cost. Pero pag may bantay, pag may manager na nagmamanage, nagmamonitor, isang tao nakakagawa ng maraming trabaho isang araw eh. Kasi walang petics. So ultimately, yung 1 month na kontrata, pababa na, nakuha natin 25 days lang eh. Kasi productivity. Kapag siya ang productivity, di ba? Yung input na in-exert mo ay nagbibigay ng output. May corresponding output. And better internal coordination. Coordination lang ito ha. Kasi sometimes you can't rely on the employees to coordinate the task. Kasi ang trabaho nila mag-provide lang ng service eh. So wag natin iasa sa kanila pag-coordinate. There should be somebody na nag-coordinate. Sa mga example sa mga BPO, di ba? May mga agent. Ang trabaho ng agent, taga-sagot lang ng call. Meron silang coordinator na TL. Saan ba ng TL to gather, to pull lahat ng mga agent kung ano mga kulang, complaints against them, or request. Isang tao lang. Hindi lahat sila nagrereklamo, isang tao lang ang pinupuntahan. So centralized, right? Yung trabaho ng project manager. Nakipag-coordinate doon sa mga higher ups or sa lateral or sa mga suppliers or ibang stakeholders ng company. Pag wala kasi siya, imagine, meron kang 5 employees, lahat yan lahat yan may request, lahat yan kakausapin ka. May coordinator. Alright, in the last one, if we're going to take into consideration itong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pag nagawa natin, example, improve customer relation, lower cost. Pag yung lower cost natin, nagawa natin ang profit, mas mataas, baka taasan ka ng sweldo. Pag tinaasan ng sweldo, malamang yung moral mo tataas din. So meron talagang the bottom line, it boils down to it will improve the morale of the employee, of your workers' morale. Tataas yan eh. Okay, so next time, ito yung natin. You can call them always project manager all the time. You can just call them coordinator. Basta isang taong may focal person para sa lahat. Okay, so I know that one is the last slide for this topic. At least we have started yung project-based business natin, service-based business natin. Yung pinag-uumpisahan ng nag-uumpisa yung inyong gagawin para sa mga client niyo. And with that, guys, I hope that you learned something for this one, and I'm going to upload an activity. And for the meantime, this has been Dr. Cortez signing off. And don't forget to subscribe sa aking morning channel. Bye, everyone!